This video is going to go over application problems for first order differential equations. We're going to do growth and decay, heating and cooling, and then a mixtures problem. So 3 examples. The first is a very common reaction based decay problem where we're talking about chemical reactions here. So we have some plutonium and uranium that's going on here. After 15 years, it is determined that 0.043% of the initial amount has disintegrated. Now, I want to be very careful here because what this then tells me is that 1 minus that, or 0.99957 of the amount remains. Oops. Okay, so that's very important that we do 1 minus the amount that has disintegrated to know that that's what remains when T is 15. Find the half-life of this isotope if the rate of disintegration is proportional to the amount remaining. Okay, so dA dt is proportional to the amount remaining. So I can move A over. I'm going to leave my K, my constant proportionality, over here. I get the natural log of A equals KT plus C. And I end up getting that A is equal to an exponential function. I probably went really quickly on that. If you need some review on how to do separation of variables, there is a video on how to do that. But that would be our amount equation. Now it should make sense that this is exponential decay. So whatever our initial amount is, that this would decay with that rate K over time, and it should make sense that K is negative. Now it does not give me an initial amount, so I'm just going to say that that initial amount is a naught and that I have a negative exponential function here. However, I do know that 0.99957 of that initial amount is there after 15 years. These are going to divide. If I take the natural log of both sides, I end up getting negative 0.00043 equals 15K. And so K must be approximately 0.00003. Very, very slow decay here. Now, if I want to go in and find my half-life, then I can do that same thing maybe here. So I know that half of the initial amount must be equal to the initial amount E to that K T, where K is that number. If you take the natural log of a half and then divide it by K, you get the half-life is approximately like 24,000 years. So in order for us to get half of this chemical to be gone, it's going to take 24,000 years for that to happen, approximately, with a little bit of some change there. All right, let's look at another example. Okay, a cake is removed from an oven. Its initial temperature is 300 degrees. And then after 3 minutes, the temperature is 200. How long will it take for the cake to cool off to room temperature? If room temperature is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So again, I'm looking here at an exponential decay type situation, but we're using Newton's law of cooling to get us there. So it's going to look something like this. Now, Newton's law of cooling says that the rate of change of the temperature with respect to time is proportional to the current temperature of the item and the ambient temperature. So in that case, I'm going to move 1 over t minus 70 over here, and I get k dt on the right-hand side. When I integrate both sides, I get the natural log of t minus 70 with absolute value bars around it. And then I get kt plus c over here. Now, I'm really only worried with positive time and positive temp, so I can just write t minus 70 equals ce to the kt. And temperature must be an exponential function. We know it's exponential decay just from context, plus 70 moving up, and that makes sense with like parent function transformations. All right, we could plug in these initial conditions if we wanted to then find the exact equation. So I know 300 is ce to the 0 plus 70. So c must be 230. And then I also know 200 must be, I'm going to plug this back in, e to the 3k plus 70. All right, so I would have 130 divided by 230.57. If I take the natural log of that and divide by 3, then I get that my k must be negative 0.19. So that's my c and that's my k for my situation of this differential equation here. All right, our last example is a mixtures problem. And I want us to think about this in terms of rates. That's always what's really helpful for me to figure this out. So when I'm thinking about rate in on this one, my units, okay, let's go ahead and read through this. I have 300 gallons of brine and there's 50 pounds in that 300 gallons. I'm then pouring in pure water, so 0 pounds per gallon. And then my rate out, we'll talk about here in a second. So now rate in, and I want to think about rate is amount of salt over time. I want this to be pounds over minutes. Well, if I have 0 pounds per gallon and I multiply that by 3 gallons per minute, then my units are correct. Now I end up having 0 pounds per minute, which makes sense. I don't have any salt going into my tank. Now, as I'm pouring in pure water and as I'm taking out water, this amount of salt at any point in time changes with respect to time. This is my variable. So my initial condition, when t equals 0, the amount was 50 pounds. But when I think about my rate out, and I'm thinking again about pounds per minute, well, I don't know how many pounds there are per 300 gallons at any point in time, specifically because I am pouring in pure water and then taking out the mixture. But I do know my rate is 3 gallons per minute. So I must have A over 100 pounds per minute. Therefore, dA dt must be rate in minus rate out. I could solve this with a differential equation, but most of the time we're not pouring in pure water, we're pouring in a substance. And there's like that subtraction there. So I'm going to solve this with a linear integrating factor instead. So my mu is e to the integral of 1 over 100 dt, or e 1 over 100 t. And so I know that my derivative with respect to time of that integrating factor times a gives me 0. Again, I would have this over here, but it's times 0, so that whole thing is 0. If I integrate both sides with respect to time, that cancels. And I'm left with just a constant over here. And so a is equal to e, and then I'm going to write that as negative 100 when I divide it over c to the kt. Again, a lot of times when you have these problems, and this is your rate in, rate out, you have a number here, and so that will affect your integration side on the right-hand side, and you'll have a little bit more piece of a component on that right-hand side when you do that.